Good evening. I'll bring this January 8th council meeting to order. If we could please rise for a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance by Councilmember Nunn. God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Ms. Williams, roll call, please.
Mayor McPartlin.
Here.
Vice Mayor Jones.
Here.
Councilmember Dixon.
Here.
Councilmember Dodd.
Here.
And Councilmember Nunn.
Here.
Thank you.
All right, Council. Any agenda modifications? None? All right. These are send proclamations. I have one here for human trafficking. Tracy? Actually, all about that. All right, good evening. It's a proclamation, unfortunately, that there's human trafficking going on, but it's a proclamation to honor all the hard work that goes behind trying to fight human trafficking. It's recognizing Human Trafficking Awareness Month, whereas human trafficking is a form of modern-day slavery in which human beings are controlled, abused, and exploited for profit through labor and sex, and child sex trafficking is the fastest growing crime in the world, and whereas children have become the primary target of traffickers and predators, and Florida ranks number 3 in the nation for human trafficking hotline calls, with arrests documented in Indian River County, and whereas local agencies, organizations, business, and leaders are connecting to bring an end to this horror of enslaving and abusing children and adults through awareness and equipping citizens to provide tips to law enforcement, and whereas the Florida Faith Alliance is providing educational videos and curriculum for children of all ages and teachers to raise awareness. Together we can stop this travesty with a long-term plan to prevent and restore victims so that we may say, not on our watch. Now, therefore, I, Bob McPartlin, as mayor of the city of Sebastian, proclaim the month of January as Human Trafficking Awareness Month and ask residents to help eliminate human trafficking by empowering families to recognize the signs, turn in tips, and save lives.
Thank you. Well, I'd just like to say thank you very much to the council, and I would just like to say thank you for helping our community become aware of the fastest growing crime in the world today, which is child sex trafficking. We are here today because we are in a crisis for our children, and we believe that addressing this crisis of human trafficking through awareness alongside our government leaders is one of the keys to end this travesty. Since the pandemic, child sex trafficking has become the fastest growing crime in the world. America is now the biggest buyer of sex, and Florida is number 3 in the nation behind California and Texas. But the buying and selling of humans is a multi-billion-dollar global enterprise. Sex trafficking is in every state and community. In Indian River County, there have been at least 14 arrests in a little over a year, largely due to tips coming in and increased awareness. Florida Faith Alliance has done several PowerPoint presentations to help people learn what to look for and how to respond. We have set up liaisons with Sheriff and Homeland Security all over the Treasure and Gold Coast to turn in tips for arrests and rescues. Sexting and sextortion is now the fastest growing gateway to child trafficking. And according to Homeland Security, students the same age as our students are being recruited in our schools to start sexting rings. Florida Faith Alliance has created powerful anti-trafficking videos called Don't Take the Bait. These are for elementary, middle, and high school students with a focus on educating students and their teachers. Just yesterday, we did an awareness presentation for principals, school nurses, social workers, and school administrators with the goal of placing these videos in every classroom in Indian River County. Due to the awareness presentation Florida Faith Alliance gave in St. Lucie County, the city decided to have all 1,400 employees go through the free online awareness training and join the Florida 100% Club with certificates of completion. Our call to action is to ask that the city of Sebastian do the same. This morning, I received a call from your city manager, Bob Benton, saying that yesterday he took the online training and received his certificate. He is now hoping to see all Sebastian City employees take the awareness training, become certified, and join St. Lucie in Attorney General Moody's 100% Club. The information for how to do this is before you on your desk there. We also invite the Sebastian City Council to attend and support our upcoming Day of Defense, supported by Sheriff Flowers, which is March 1st and is to be held in the Indian River Sheriff's Auditorium. This day will include self-defense demonstrations, self-defense situation awareness, and self-defense online for families with children, grandparents, and concerned citizens. More information will soon be available. Proverbs 31:8 says, "Speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves and ensure justice for those being crushed." We want to empower you as council members to take a lead role in being a voice and ending this travesty. Together, we can unite to fight and send a loud and clear message. Not on our watch. Thank you for your support. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Vice Mayor Jones, you want to do the brief announcements?
Yes, sir, I will. Announcements, Friday, January the 10th, we have the Chamber of Commerce concert at Riverview Park from 5:30 p.m. It is the Reckless Shots will be there. Saturday, January 11th, Craft Club of Sebastian event at Riverview Park from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Friday, January 17th, finally Friday on Cleveland Street from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. The Mighty Flea Circus will be there. January 16th through the 19th is the Fellsmere Frog Leg Festival, held out in Fellsmere, 22 South Orange Street. The Sebastian Riverfront Fine Arts and Music Festival, Saturday, January the 18th, from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Sunday, January the 19th, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Saturday, February 8th, Air Potato Roundup at the Sebastian Stormwater Park, which is located at 297 Engler Drive in Sebastian. And if you'd like to volunteer for that, you can call 772-388-8206 to volunteer a shift to take care of the air potatoes. And that's the announcements, sir.
Thank you, sir. All right, it leads us up to public input. Anyone who wants to speak on anything not on the current agenda, now is the time. Yes, sir.
Thank you for this opportunity. My name is Bob Bruner. I live here in Sebastian on Montrose Avenue, and I've got some concerns and some questions maybe you all can help me with. The Stone Crop project has been taking a while. It's been like over a year and a half since we started the project. I'm aware of the different things that have ran into with the funding from FEMA and with the turtles and with the trees. It just seems like it's just been one thing after another. I built my house on Montrose Avenue 9 years ago as a homeowner builder, and when I built it, in order to get my certificate of occupancy, the city required me to plant 7 trees. Well, now that they've started on the stone crop project, I've moved my fence back, I've got my stuff out of the way, they're going through there with the equipment. They've cut down 3 of the 7 trees that I was required by the city to plant. One of my questions is, do I have to replace these trees, or is the city going to help me replace the trees that were taken out? And this project has to be done because the ditch was eroding and it needs to be fixed, and I'm happy that it's being fixed, but this has taken longer. Well, I think it's actually taken longer than you thought it would take too. So where are we in this project? When can I expect it to possibly be completed?
Is that the only question you got?
Pardon me?
Is that all you have?
Yes, sir.
All right, all right. Mr. Benton, you got an update on stone crop? I know it has been a while, and then also about the gentleman's trees.
Yes, so I'm going to have Karen Miller, she's the project manager on this project, to come up and speak on this item. Thank you.
You could have a seat, sir. You could have a seat.
We've met a couple times.
She's out and about, very good, very diligent.
For any residents that live in that area, if you go to the city's website, we have a stone crop project updates page. It was just recently updated. The team has started mobilizing this week, so it's been a little quiet as they're just having meetings, getting some equipment set up, but construction will be starting in the next week or two. Construction will be from January through July, so it should be done by August. That is the anticipated schedule, and everything will be updated on the website. One thing to note for residents is there will be a road closure on Laconia Street, so that is going to be closed. We're anticipating end of January through April, but again, the date, we will have message boards on the road and everything updated on the website once we know for sure.
Thank you. August
Oh, as for the
2020
trees, I've already talked to the city manager about possible donations for residents. So I've been talking to individuals, and we're going to be passing that information out to residents closer to the end of the project. Once the project is completed, that's when we can talk to them about placing back their fences and placing back trees. The big thing is once we go ahead with placing back trees, we want to make sure we put them in the right location so we don't have these issues in the future. So residents will be getting a lot more information at the close of the project.
All right. Thank you, Ken. August 2025, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Anyone else from the public? Anyone on Zoom back there?
No one has raised their hand at this time.
All right. Very good. Please step to the consent agenda. Mr. Nunn, I understand you want
Mr. Mayor, yes. Can we please pull 8C, please?
8C. All right. Anybody want to pull anything else?
Mr. Mayor, I move approval of 8A, B, D, and E.
Second.
Get a motion in a second. Roll call on that?
Vice Mayor Jones?
Yes.
Councilmember Dixon?
Yes.
Councilmember Dodd?
Yes.
Councilmember Nunn?
Yes.
And Mayor McPartlin?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Item 8C, alcohol beverage approval. Mr. Nunn.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I'm just pulling this out so I can abstain from the vote. It's for a rental for the community center, and since it's my family that's renting it.
All right. Very good. I move approval of item 8C.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, and Mr. Nunn has recused himself. All right, leads us up to item 9, committee reports and appointments. We have a opening on the Parks and Recs Committee. Council, I think we only have one.
Yes, that's true. And he's out of town. He can't be here tonight, but he is interested.
Okay.
Oh, it's Grace,
No, it's
Mrs.
Grace,
Sheldon.
yeah.
Grace.
She's out of town too, but she still is interested.
I make a motion to place Grace Sheldon in the vacant spot as an alternate member.
Second?
Sounds good. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, Grace will be moving on. All right, leads up to 9B, the Natural Resources Board. Again, another opening here. Ms. Reynolds?
Yes, your alternate would like to move up to the vacant regular member position. He's out of town tonight, so he couldn't be here, but he is interested.
Okay, Mr. Mayor, I move that we move Paul Duvall from his current alternate position to the open active position on the committee.
Second.
And also add to that we advertise the vacancy for the alternate position.
Yes, sir.
All right. And you agree with that
Yes.
second as well? All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, very good.
That gives us 2 open alternate positions for all those citizens that are wanting to be involved.
Yes.
Yes.
Sounds great. All right. And then item 10A, the second reading and public hearing on ordinance O-24-21. Are we? Madam Clerk, Ms. Cockcroft?
Just briefly, under, let's see, what page is this? Page 51 in your packet should have been updated to reflect the change. If not, it is on the original that we'll have signed by the mayor. It's at the top, procedures for public input B, time limit.
Mr. Mayor, based on what's in the agenda packet on page 51 of the packet, which is page 2 of the ordinance, under item B1, the last 3 words, which are in red, need to be stricken.
Yes,
Yes.
that's what we have.
Right, that's what I was saying.
initially
That's what she's saying. That's what I'm saying. Fixed on the
Right.
one that will be
So-
signed.
said. Okay,
On
I know,
the,
but we have to vote on what's in the agenda packet, right?
right.
right.
So we're going to modify
Well-
that and approve it that way.
Yeah.
So the original, the actual one, did we, you have the updated one, correct?
Yes, for signature.
Right. So that is the change that was made. So it's in the original as changed, and it can be voted on.
Okay, but even though the agenda packet is incorrect,
Well, it was, I thought,
I think just to make it simple, to make sure that we are 100% correct, I'd like to strike, make sure that we, in the motion, we vote on the item in the agenda packet by striking those 3 words.
right, we can do that.
Because we
Yeah,
don't
I agree.
have the other one in front of us.
Yeah, we don't have
Yeah,
the
I
updated.
agree.
Right, it's in the mayor's, it's on the mayor's version. So, but that's fine.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and read it now. I just wanted to bring that to your attention first. Okay, thanks. So ordinance number 0-24-21, an ordinance of the City of Sebastian, Indian River County, Florida, providing for the amendment of the City of Sebastian Code of Ordinances, Section 2.33, parens H, parens capital B, additional meeting procedures adopted, procedures for public input, providing for the rescission or repeal of all other ordinances, resolutions, policies, procedures, and any parts in conflict herewith, providing for codification, providing for severability, providing for scrivener's errors, and providing for an effective date. This is the second final reading with the changes as directed, which aren't reflected in your packet, but they are brought forward for your approval with the change to allow for 3 minutes for public input on matters before the city council. And then we stricken the last 3 words in the paragraph B1.
I move approval.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Anyone from the public wish to speak on this change to the public input?
Thank you.
Anyone on Zoom back there?
No one has raised their hand.
All right. Any further discussion, council? Roll call, Ms. Williams.
Councilmember Dodd?
Yes.
Councilmember Nunn?
Yes.
Mayor McPartlin?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jones?
Yes.
And Councilmember Dixon?
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we have no unfinished business. Leads us up to new business. Item 12A, consideration of change order number 3. Mr. Benton.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm going to have Mr. Sabo, our airport manager, provide some background on this item, and we'll then request your approval of change order number 3 in the amount of $16,478.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor and Council, this stemmed from the long and lengthy process that we had to successfully get contractors bidded under our budget to get these hangars built. And early on in the process, we had looked at several different samples from different companies as to style and substance to what the hangars were going to be. And somewhere in there, we came to the conclusion that we felt it would be sufficient both in cost and need to only have one walk-through door to complement the large hangar door for aircraft to go in and out. And that was submitted, it was bid on that way, it went through the building department and was accepted that way. And so based on that contract, we've gone ahead and started the whole process of building the hangars. I don't want to throw the building department under the wheels here, but there was another topic that came up concerning a type of treatment to the siding and the roof and the like, and during that review they discovered that the code truly did require 2 walk-through doors instead of 1 for safety and egress reasons. So because of that, this was a city oversight and not the contractors, and we're coming to you to correct that tonight.
All right. Any questions for Mr. Sabo? All right. Council?
This still puts it under the original budget.
That's correct, sir.
Budgeted amount, correct?
Yes, sir.
And when I looked at that, I looked at some of the that's included within the 16,478, and wanted to include a pad and some other stuff over there. Are these the hangars that are on the backside that you can see the shell of now, is what you're talking about?
Yes, sir. Airport Drive West there, just below Central Avenue.
Right.
All right, anyone else have any questions for Mr. Sabo?
I was going to say, I'm happy to see that even though we are raising it $16,000, FDOT is paying for $13,000 of that. That's good to see. Good job on that.
Mr. Mayor, I move approval.
Second.
Any further discussion? Anyone from the public wish to speak on this item? Anyone on Zoom?
Not at this time.
All right, roll call, Ms. Williams.
Councilmember Nunn?
Yes.
Mayor McPartlin?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jones?
Yes.
Councilmember Dixon?
Yes.
And Councilmember Dodd?
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you. Leads us up to item 12B, consideration of resolution R-25-01, approving a piggyback. Mr. Benton?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So this is a piggyback for what we consider a lot of times is slip lining, but then also additional storm drain cleaning with our culvert pipes throughout the city. We have utilized Shenandoah, piggybacking off of the Broward College contract for the past numerous years. They are currently doing a few projects within the city, and we are requesting you all to approve an additional, via Resolution 25-01, additional extension on piggybacking, and then for this fiscal year, amount not to exceed $117,387 underneath this contract. And then what we do annually is we'll have to bring it back to you all for additional funding, but this would allow us to piggyback it through the conclusion of their contract, which is December 2nd, 2027.
Anybody any questions for Mr. Benton?
Yeah, on the, it says the amount budget is 182,000, and then the expenditure amount is the 117. Is this part of something other than just this particular funding, or is $182,000 just for this? Or was there? I've got the impression it wasn't budgeted. This is an unbudgeted item. So where's that budget category?
No, we budgeted $182,000 in this fiscal year's stormwater budget for slip lining.
For slip lining, okay.
Yes, sir.
All right.
So a portion of that, the reason this isn't for $182,000 is that we did have projects that were already approved that fell underneath the slip lining with Shenandoah before the contract had expired.
Okay.
So now this will pick it up, piggyback on a new contract that will then allow us to continue our operations with Shenandoah.
Okay, so does the overall budget then go up from the 182 item when you include what we've already got in there plus this new 117, or is it still
No, sir.
within that?
No,
Okay.
sir. The 182 is what our not-to-exceed budget amount is, as typical with any budget line item that we have.
Okay. And what made me even think about that is it's kind of an odd amount, 117,387. It's kind of like you know what you're going to spend it on, so you've got a specific thing in there, so.
So that is we may not spend the full 117,387, but that is what is remaining
That's what's remaining out of that
out of
one.
that 182.
Okay, that actually answers my question right
Yes,
there.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Any other question for Mr. Benton? Council, what's your pleasure on this item?
I'll make a motion to approve, Mr. Mayor.
Second.
Motion is second. Anyone from the public wish to speak on this item? Anyone on Zoom?
Not at this time.
All right, roll call, Ms. Williams.
Mayor McPartlin?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jones?
Yes.
Councilmember Dixon?
Yes.
Councilmember Dodd?
Yes.
And Councilmember Nunn.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you.
All right, very good. Leads up to city attorney matters. Ms. Cockrum.
Just briefly, I'm still working on bringing forward the opinion from Mr. Mai on the septic to sewer and the resolution, and look forward to bringing that to you, hopefully at the next meeting. We've been dealing with Mr. Mai on a different matter over the past week or so, a litigation matter.
All right, thank you. Anything else?
Thank you. No, that's all.
Mr. Benton.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So kind of starting off, the first item I have is kind of a result of the proclamation that we had earlier with the human trafficking and the 100% club that was referenced from Ms. Tracy. So what I have done, and I'm kind of looking a little bit of direction from you all to say it's okay to do this, is I worked with our Human Resources Director, Ms. Cindy Watson, over the last 2 days, and she developed a policy within the city that would require every employee to go through the human trafficking training that is provided by the Attorney General, the State of Florida Attorney General's office. And with that, our goal would be that every existing employee completes it by the end of January during Human Trafficking Month. We would then apply for the acknowledgement of the 100% club. But then building off of that, every new employee that's hired would have to go through that training as a part of their orientation to continue that matter. So we have a policy that's been drafted. If I get a consensus from you all that you're okay with us going forward with this, I will sign it and we will kind of start putting it into action tomorrow to start this process.
I love
Anyone
that.
have any concerns?
Do it.
Do it.
Let's do it.
I've been to one of their presentations, and it's scary and mind-blowing what's going on, especially in the tech sector of how they're approaching kids and the apps and the games that they're reaching our teenagers and even younger on. So I think it's highly effective that we do this.
And I went through the training yesterday morning. It's a little bit over an hour. Every one of our employees, we can't do it in a group setting, so every one of them's gonna have to sit in front of the computer and watch it for the full hour individually. And it was very informative, and I think it'll be a good program to have our employees go through. So with you all's consensus and agreement, we will proceed with that policy. I'll have it signed today, and we'll go into motion tomorrow.
It would be wonderful too. I mean, you've all heard me speak on it many times. If we could offer RAD kids a little bit more often within the city. My kids have done it twice, and it's just a great program to empower children. I'm pretty sure the mayor's kids have done it as well.
That's what happened here.
If you're gonna send that out by email to the employees, like link, send it to us as well, at least, yes, please.
Absolutely.
I think we should all go ahead and go
Yes,
through it too.
absolutely.
I'll make sure you all have.
Of course.
I at least do.
Yeah, I think last year they actually, was it a year ago, they actually showed the videos that they're doing in the schools. at
Yeah, I
the
think we
council
were
meeting.
there at the
And
Catholic
then
Church.
they had a presentation at the
Yep.
Catholic Church here in which they had some people from Homeland Security that
Yep.
really, it was eye-opening what the Homeland Security people had to say, but on the enforcement side of the problems that they encounter with this. So I think it's definitely something that needs to be done. And we probably should put those videos on our website, so any parent who wants their kids to watch those videos has an opportunity to see them, because I know they're gonna see them in the schools, but that doesn't necessarily mean that every child's gonna be exposed to them.
That sounds like a great social media thing for like our social media person, Avery, who's doing such a wonderful job.
So within our application for the 100% club and also our policy, we will provide information on our website. We'll do a social media posting once we get employees trained and kind of, going through that process, and we'll make that happen.
Okay.
Great.
Thank you.
I mean, it's very frightening if you think about human trafficking. I've done investigations on human trafficking and the way it has expanded through the course of social media, and as well as, not just the city get involved, but Waste Management did human trafficking training for their drivers, because when they're out of the home, there are certain signs that you can see, and it kind of suggests that there could be trafficking going on. So I think it is very important to put out there. I think a social media campaign would be great, because sometimes it's children get involved and the parents don't even know, and they have no idea. So I think it is extremely beneficial. But again, and a little background is, the reason it's in January is because of the Super Bowl. It used to be played in January, and that's a big event. Like wherever the Super Bowl is played, is traffickers bring in their sex workers around the city that's having the Super Bowl. So that's the reason that it's in January.
I
So
saw an article not too long ago that said that with our government's current push on fentanyl, that at the border, human trafficking is going to be the fentanyl the next 10 years.
Awful. So you have an answer, right, Mr. So is that item number one?
Yep, I got a few more. I wanted to inform you all that the Bryant Court Playground, the new playground is being installed. I believe the structure was completed today. Nice. And the artificial turf installation will take place next week. So we'll make sure to inform you all and let you all know once that project is complete. But it is well underway, and as I said, the structure was completed today. Karen gave a lot of information on the Stonecrop drainage project, but I just wanted to reference once again that on our website, we have a dedicated Stonecrop project website that provides information in there. It is general information because the contractor schedules with subcontractors and everything change, so it isn't a day-to-day schedule, but it is a generalized schedule that provides information. And in regards to the trees, any residents that need or are interested in the city replacing trees that had to be removed, they can contact us, and we will work with them once the project is complete. Cold weather shelters, want to let everyone know that I got information from the county today that they are expecting colder weather once again tonight, and there are a few cold weather shelters open within the county. The Salvation Army, located at 2655 5th Street Southwest, Vero Beach, Florida, will be open for the first 40 registered persons through 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, and beginning at 7 p.m. tonight. The Source has 3 Dignity buses activated from 9 p.m. to 7 a.m. They're located at 1015 Commerce Avenue in Vero Beach as well, and they have a 55-bed capacity. So just want to make sure to share that information. They are expecting, temperatures to be pretty cool again tonight, as they were last night. The last thing that I have is earlier in the agenda, we approved the municipal elections agreement, and just want to make sure that everyone's aware that we will continue to follow the signage out front here at City Hall with that as we go forward. Next year, we don't have early elections, but as we continue to go forward in the governor election in 2 years, we'll continue to follow that policy that we have in place. It seemed to work really well this year. So with that, that is all that I have for tonight.
Ms. Williams.
Mr. Mayor, can I bug one more thing?
Sure.
As you know, there's a lot of new legislation that went in effect on January 1st, and currently looking for a good summary of it, but you will see in the next few meetings some new ordinances that staff and city manager and I have been working on bringing to you, including the homeless public camping one.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry.
Vice Mayor Jones.
Yes, I'd like to start off tonight to talk about a dear friend of mine, Dr. Jeff Carey. I think many of us know Jeff. Jeff served on our Natural Resources Board, and he passed recently. So, I know how I get emotional about things, so I sat down over the last couple of days and I wrote out a couple of things that I'd like to share, if you all don't mind. Indulge me for a moment. I will forever cherish the memories of Dr. Jeff Carey. He was an extraordinary individual whom I instantly connected with. Jeff and I would regularly meet for breakfast whenever he was in town, sharing stories and celebrating life triumphs. His vast knowledge and experience made him a shining star and an invaluable asset to our city. Dr. Carrier was a beacon of wisdom and a cherished member of our Natural Resources Board. Thank you, Carol. Carol is his wife. Thank you, Carol, if you're listening, for graciously sharing Jeff's gifts with us. Jeff's remarkable spirit will undoubtedly be deeply missed. And just wanted to share those words about our friend and person that served on our Natural Resources Board. So, thank you.
Thank you. It leads me up to me. I guess today, I attended a meeting, the Treasure Coast Council of Local Governments, and they honored, another wonderful individual, Joel Tyson, who was the mayor there for a long time. I mean, he served, I think, over 26 years on the council, and he had he thought he didn't do anything, but the man had a lot of institutional knowledge, going out. And I was, just wondering, maybe we could send him something like the Good Neighbor Award, being from Fellsmere, a consideration. I have nothing else. Mr. Nunn.
I have two things. Cold weather shelter. Was approached by the cold weather committee, which I attend a couple times a year in Indian River, about possibly a cold weather shelter here in Sebastian. The idea was the community center would be used. The building would be the only thing we would have to provide. They would provide essentially security for the building. They would provide the staff to handle it. They would bring beds in for overnight. They would bring food, drinks, whatever else was needed. The only thing we would have to provide is a building overnight, and in the morning, everybody would leave. They would clean up the building, and they would leave. I would like to bring that maybe to one of our next meetings to have a discussion about it. I don't know if we'd have to do an ordinance or, what we'd have to do to have that discussion, but if that's something we could talk about, at least at a future meeting.
Sounds like a no-brainer.
If you can share the information with me so that I can start to gather some information
Okay.
before the next meeting, then I'll have Mr. Blankenship and myself will
Okay.
kind of get with whoever the organization is
Yep.
that you're speaking of.
Will do.
Go from there.
Thank you. That there are no cold weather shelters up this way, so that would give the opportunity at little electricity cost and a little bit of space overnight for us, and besides that, it cost us nothing except decency and kindness. So the second thing I have was I saw a post in the Facebook, on the Facebook, now I sound old, on Facebook today about our Sebastian PD Wolf Pack doing some traffic control out here on Main Street. And I just want to say good job and just remind people it's 35 miles per hour out here. There's stop signs, there's street lights, there's a train track you should stay off of when you're stopped. Many people drive too fast. We've gotten emails about people on streets. The posted speed limit on a street is 30 miles per hour. We could go around and change our speed limit on every street to 20 miles per hour. But most of these people aren't doing the speed limit anyway, so changing the speed limit is not going to fix it. We have to fix it with people, and I hope to see more future, we want to call it more Wolfpack location sightings of us stopping, more people on streets that are just speeding down the streets like crazy or running stop signs or, just not obeying traffic signals in the future. So, as you're driving around, if you've got kids that drive, remind them about speed limits. Remind them that if they cut through Cumberland Farms and because they don't want to wait 2.5 minutes for that stoplight, if they hit a little kid and kill them in the parking lot, they're going to live with that for the rest of their life because they saved 2.5 minutes by not waiting for the stoplight. That's not legal. It's against the law. If you get caught, it's a ticket. I just, we're all in a little bit too much of a hurry. And I'm not trying to lecture, but we all need to slow down just a little bit. We can change all the street signs in the world, but if you won't slow down, you won't pay attention, it's not going to make a difference. So today, remind yourselves to slow down a little bit when you're driving around. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Dixon.
Mr. Nunn's sentiments, really, it's the speeding on the roads. Other than that, get out and enjoy our festivals. I always love January because I call it festival month. It kind of kicks off festival season around here. And I'm always disappointed that we do it all on the same weekend between, you got to go out to Fellsmere and you got to enjoy the Fine Arts and Music Festival. That's my favorite one that comes to Sebastian. But just, enjoy our weather. I know it's a little cold in the morning and at night, but during the day it's pretty nice. But just slow down while you're out there. There have been some really terrible accidents, and we don't need to lose a resident or a neighbor because you're just in a hurry. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Dunn?
I think the weather's going to straighten up for the Fine Arts and Music Festival, but between now and then,
It's
take a
always
jacket.
so windy that weekend, though, and I feel so bad for the artists.
Yeah. I agree with the cold weather shelter thing. I think that's kind of a no-brainer for us to put something together with that. It's a good idea. So that's it. Thank you.
All right, no other business? We're adjourned.